Hey guys, it's time for that video about how to build a roll-up ground plane antenna. Here's my radio bag. It's right here in there. Doesn't take up much space. It's pretty little. That's it. Put the bag aside. This here is my roll cord that I'm going to use to hoist it up into a tree or lamp post or wherever I'm going to hoist it up to. And then this is the antenna and the coax. As you'll notice, once I separate the two here, this is the antenna. That's the antenna. This is the coax. And as you can see, the coax takes up way more space and weight and bulk than the antenna itself. The antenna is very small, very lightweight. Now, on my coax, I have used BNC connectors to attach my balun, and this is part of the antenna as well. So, but the coax, the ends of the coax are going to be, one end is going to be BNC because that's what the balun takes, and the other end is going to be radio specific, and you just need to get whatever adapter it is necessary to adapt your coax to your radio. Simple as that. Now the balun is called a balun because one end is balanced. That's the BNC is balanced, and the banana clips are unbalanced. You got a positive and a ground. These are the antenna leads. Very lightweight, very small. Takes up almost no space at all. And then of course, one little thing that I didn't mention, you have your ground plane leads separators, tubes here, and I'll show you how that works. So, first things first, here's the balun. You have a positive, which is the red, and a negative, or ground, which is the black. And we'll attach the ground plane to the ground and the transmission lead to the positive. Now the way we make these ground plane leads and transmission leads is we use, I just use speaker wire and ring connectors. You can see it's very simple. And the way I did it to save on wire is I took a 26-inch piece of speaker wire. Let's say this is it right here. A 26-inch piece of dual lead speaker wire. And I took it and I marked on the red, I measured from one end on the red and measured 6.5 inches. And then on the other end, from the black, I measured 6.5 inches. Okay? And on the black, and I cut the black lead only. You see how there's, and then on the red side, at 6.5 inches, I cut the red side only. And after I'd done that, all I had to do was just peel it apart. And it ended up with these two leads. Out of 126 is because a quarter plane or quarter wave 2-meter antenna is 19.5 inches. In this case, the black is 19.5 inches. And a quarter wave 70 centimeter antenna is 6.5 inches. And the black left on this one is 6.5 inches. So with the black and the red, I have a quarter wave 70 centimeter and a quarter wave 2 meter. Okay. Now the ends on the leads, they're all the same. Once you make your 4 out of your 2 pieces, they're all the same. The single end on the 19.5, you leave the wire insulated. Leave the wire insulated here and just clamp your ring connector over the insulated wire. If you look real close, you can see the insulation on that one. Okay, so don't strip these ends. Put the ring connectors on. Now on the double end, you want to strip both leads. You want to strip the short and the long lead so everything is stripped, and then clamp those in. On the uninsulated wire, both leads. And then you should end up with 4. Okay, one of them, and this one's bent at a 90 because I decided this was going to be my transmission lead. So it goes on the positive of the balun. Very simple. There's really not much more to it than I just explained to you. 2 26-inch pieces of speaker wire. Mark opposites, 6.5 inches, cut them, strip them apart, put the ring connectors on, and you're gold. Now, put this on here, and that's at a 90 because I'm going to hang from this lead. See? There you go. 19.5 on the red, 6.5 on the black. Dual band antenna. Now take off the negative or the ground, and I put my ground planes on there. Some people call ground planes tiger tails, and a tiger tail would be if you just use one on an HT. That would be called a tiger tail, but it would be the same principle. What you're doing is you're directing the ground energy towards the ground because it's a circuit. A radio wave is an electrical circuit. So if you have the ground pointed at the ground, it's going to be more efficient. Okay, and when these are the, if you have the radiant wire and the ground plane wires at 135 degrees here, if this angle is 135 degrees, that's optimal. Now it doesn't have to be that, but that's optimal. And you don't even have to hold these apart. You can just let these dangle free like this and it will work, just because it optimizes, it increases the ground efficiency. But if you can hold them splayed out, it's even better. So that's what this is for. This is it's just a, you know, you can read right there. It's just a little PVC tube. Got it at Home Depot. It's like 3/8 of an inch with a cord just used. I'm using 275 paracord instead of 550 because it's easier to feed. I just take this cord and I feed it through here. Feed it through the tube. And this plastic tube weighs almost nothing. In fact, when all three are bundled together, it's smaller than a 19-inch piece of 3/4 inch PVC. And I take the next one and I feed it through. So you can see what I'm doing here. These are just spreaders. I put this one through here. And the beauty of this is there's really nothing to break unless, I mean, you can't kink. It's not a telescopic antenna. It's not metal. It won't bend permanently. It won't break unless you crushed the balun. That would be the only weak spot of this system, is the balun, and that would be very hard to crush that. And if you, for some reason, lost these little PVC tubes, you could just use sticks. You could use sticks and some duct tape that you had in your backpack. So, and this is simple. All I'm going to do here is just tie these last two together, which is a simple double overhand knot, commonly known as a granny knot. And there you have it. Can you see that? That's a ground plane antenna. And then you just feed your coax. Take your coax here. Take your feed end. Put it right up through the middle. BNC connector makes it easy. And then you just hoist that up in a tree. And that's a ground plane antenna. Let's see if I can get a better shot for you here. Okay. I'm going to move the camera back a little bit. So now here's it hanging. And there's the ground plane antenna. And with this guy right here, this little ring connector here that's attached to the insulation on the wire, so it's not part of the radiant, is you attach this string to it right there, throw this guy over a tree, haul it up in a tree so it extends your coax. As you pull it up, your coax extends out, connected to your radio. I've got 25 feet of coax here, so I can lift it up 25 feet. And that's it, guys. That's it. That's all there is to it. Ground plane antenna. And it's a roll up. It's almost indestructible. And you can make it fit just about any radio you got. With the correct adapter, it'll work for 2 meters and 70 centimeters. Now, if you wanted to make it tri-band, you could do that as well. Just add another lead on here for whatever your third band is, whether it's 220, 10 meter for HF. It's totally possible. Just all you do is change your lead length, and it can be this flexible speaker wire, which is unbreakable. Straightens right out under its own weight. Really is quite useful. Anyway, thanks guys. Ciao.